NIRNAY IAS by officers for future officers.
UPSC Mains is actually main because there is going to be a fundamental shift. ये सिर्फ knowledge का game नहीं है जैसे prelims होता है, but very different from that. Therefore, the skill that you will need is essentially of writing and expression, but also of analysis. It is not just that the content is empty and all you need to know is know facts and then have analysis. No, you can't always. You have to even form an opinion on many of the issues that they will ask, which we will go into some detail. I will talk about the content in some detail so you have an idea of what we are dealing with subject to subject. We'll start with the Indian heritage and culture. Analyze. Estimate the contribution of the Pallavas of Kanchi for the development of art and literature of South India. Pay a little bit of attention to this and see what type of question this is, what they want to know. Ask yourself, what should I have studied or learned to be able to actually answer this question the way ChatGPT would answer? Accurately, succinctly, and in the word limit, which is around 150 to 150 words. Now, this is very difficult because you see, they want you to know the estimate of the contribution of Pallavas of Kanchi. So it's not just any Pallavas, it's the Pallavas of Kanchi for the development of art and literature of South India. They are not interested in what happened about anything other than this. So you would need to have very specific information about it and the structure of your answer. आप answer लिखोगे कैसे? It would have to be on contribution. And when you talk of contribution, a template that you should always remember that will come handy, of course, is contribution हमेशा pestal analysis से करी जा सकती है. At least कुछ ऐसी चीजें होंगी, sociological, cultural, जो universal हैं, जो होंगी ही होंगी. So immediately that structure and that framework should come to your mind. Obviously, you would need to have the information first. Now, where do you get this information? What are the sources that you will read? Sources basic हैं. इन sources को पढ़ के guarantee नहीं है कि आप क्वेश्चंस का आंसर वैसे दे पाओगे जैसे देने की जरूरत है. इट इज नॉट गारंटीड, बट स्टिल जो बेसिक फैक्चुअल नॉलेज है जो होनी ही चाहिए, जिसके बिना इट इज नॉट कंप्लीट, दैट इज दिस. You need to read Nitin Singhania because that is a standard book. I don't think it's a great book, to be frank, but it's all right. I mean, it's one of the sources that everybody has. You don't have to spend anything more. Go over NCERT Class 11th Fine Arts, CCRT website, and the amount of time you should be investing in this is at least 6 days consuming. 4 days of nothing but learning. We will integrate daily answer writing also, but there are certain element of knowledge that you have to consume. In case there is any gap to आपकी prelims की knowledge से बच गया हो, this is what is recommended for somebody who has cleared prelims and is expecting to clear prelims but is not sure about how to prepare for mains, has not done it before. A repeater will not find this very, very useful because they know what to do. But so somebody who is a little bit new, for 2 mains especially, this will be very useful. Come to history. Modern would check out these questions. What events led to the Quit India movement? Point out its results. Pretty straightforward. If you have read the NCERT, you should be able to answer this. Industrial revolution's impact on Indian handicrafts. Difficult question, I would say. Not difficult in the conventional sense, क्योंकि हम history जब पढ़ते हैं तो हमको ये तो पता चल ही जाता है कि the industrial revolution's impact on Indian culture, Indian handicrafts was not good, obviously, because as soon as industrial revolution happened, सारे के सारे manufacturers started to be based out of Manchester, and the British just wanted raw material from us. So indigenous handicrafts harm हुआ था, but that is not enough. ये तो पता है ही हमको, and we can obviously extrapolate that fact, but it is not enough to answer. अच्छी डिटेल चाहिए थोड़ी सी इसके अंदर. थोड़ा सा बताना पड़ेगा कि कौन से रीजन में कितना ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट आया था. तो इसके लिए एक्सटेंसिव रीडिंग की जरूरत है, और दिस इज बियॉन्ड जस्ट नॉलेज. इट इज नॉट इजी, इट इज बियॉन्ड नॉलेज. इट इज अबाउट अ डीप इंटरेस्ट. जब तक आप इसको नहीं पढ़ोगे तब तक आपको आएगा नहीं. ये इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस हैं जो आपको बिपिन चंद्रा, द बिग बिपिन चंद्रा आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, द वन अबाउट द इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस, द होल थिंग, देयर यू विल फाइंड इन सम डिटेल क्या हुआ था जब ड्रॉट आई थी, व्हाट वाज द मूवमेंट लाइक, क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. डिटेल में डिस्क्रिप्टिव है. द डिफरेंस बिटवीन, फॉर इन स्पेक्ट्रम and the bigger Bipin Chandra is the difference between Lakshmikant and D.D. Basu, essentially. So you will need a lot of days to read through the history in this level, in this context, which is much more open-ended, dynamic, social science oriented, not straight-jacketed, not about facts, but about something beyond facts, something about the analysis, the impact, that only a serious student of history will know. Academics जानेंगे इन चीजों को, या जिन लोगों ने हिस्ट्री में ऑनर्स कर रखे, but ये यूपीएससी की डिमांड है तो you have to do it. Now coming to geography. Geography previous year question. Let us see, take a look. What is sea surface temperature rise? Simple. But I mean, you should know that sea surface temperature rise is obviously linked to global warming, but आप कितना उसको अच्छे से लाते हो, आपके जितने भी contextual understanding है about global warming and climate change वो test हो जाएगी. Are you able to quote some recent information or data? पता चल जाएगा. Do you know what steps India is taking? आपसे पूछा नहीं गया है, but अगर आप लिखोगे तो पता चल जाएगा. You will. It is important. The question may not say it, but you need to. Do you know what solutions there might be at all, if at all, to any of these? Although these are geographical phenomena, and nobody, no humans have very many solutions for geographical phenomena because they're out of control. But anyway, what will you read from? Where is the basic source of content coming to you from about geography, about this content? It's coming from the NCRTs. It's coming from GC Leong, some electric articles, because at times they will ask very direct questions from physical geography. They will ask, for instance, what is a cloudburst? They might ask that. They might ask you something technical about climatology, maybe. They might ask you in some detail about the recent El Nino, El Nina, if it has occurred, and how it works. They recently asked the question, what is a twister? Question mark. And then it was followed by a second part, but you get the idea. आपको पता होना चाहिए. And you need to know what a twister is and describe it in the language that GC Leong type of academics would describe it. क्या होता है twister? Geography के terms में उनको थोड़ा सा चाहिए. They don't want a generic description of cyclone, twister, typhoon, comma डाल करके. No. They want something more specific. और उसके लिए हमारी information और knowledge थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा updated होनी चाहिए. Prelim से भी थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा on these aspects. Indian society, again, take a look at these questions. Like I mentioned, this question I mentioned before, increase in intercaste versus interreligious marriages. This was also a very interesting question, and you would know this type of a question अगर आप या तो योजना मैगजीन या सोशियोलॉजी के स्टूडेंट हो, या आप इंडिया के सोशियोलॉजिकल ट्रेंड्स फॉलो करते हो, या आप कोई रिपोर्ट पढ़ो इसके बारे में, तब आपको इस टाइप की चीज के बारे में वो उस टाइप की लैंग्वेज और उस टाइप की इंफॉर्मेशन या डेटा मिलेगी जो आपको चाहिए. Obviously, हमको यहाँ पर टेम्पलेट्स का यूज करना पड़ेगा. We will have to use some bluffing strategies, pattern recognition, if you do not know the exact term. But like I said, a lot of reading is required. Some sources I will mention. The sources for preparing society, NCERT Sociology Class 12. It will come mostly from editorials. अगर आपने इस टाइप का कोई editorial पढ़ा हो, इस टाइप की कोई research, इस टाइप की कोई report आई हो, maybe from a ministry, from the Ministry of. We come to polity and governance. The question they asked is directly about electoral reforms. One nation, one election. Of course, you should know, but the implications of one nation, one election, you should know, and the data for this would come from obviously editorials and current affairs and some deep analysis about it. Maybe you heard a podcast about it. Maybe you read a few articles about it, perhaps some editorials. The role of CAG, rather straightforward question, but the question was, the role of the CAG is not only about the legality. It is more about the probity and the discipline also. I'm not remembering exactly what the question was, but it was about that. So they wanted to push you beyond Lakshmikant. They wanted you to tell them a little bit about what the CAG is envisioned as by the makers of the constitution, what the provisions of the constitution regarding the CAG are, and what is the expectation. The CAG is responsible to which committee of the parliament, and why is it answerable? Recently, what has it unearthed? What are the criticism against it? What are the solutions? All of these things will by default come, because the question was about the vision that the founding father of our country had for this particular constitutional rule. Public examination prevention, current affairs, paper leak scams, obviously you should know, but then again you should know the details of the act a little bit, at least to some summary. One place I found very useful summaries of all policies that the government has released is PRS. PRS में बहुत अच्छे content मिलता है. I will link it in the description for you. If you don't know about it, you will find it very useful. Periodic reports they put out, and the summaries are very good and definitely worth going through, but they don't give you context. It's just a lot of information, bullet points लिखे होंगे. It is not easy to read, but as a source of revision, if you know the context, the information is very good and densely packed. One of those PRS I already mentioned, second ARC reports. You should read the one on ethics, citizen-centric governance, and international relations. Most of it will be, obviously, it will be from the current affairs dynamic part. They will consistently and consecutively ask you about China. They will for sure ask you about the nuclear doctrine, perhaps. Also about the doctrine on terrorism and how India has changed its policies and what that implies, where that can lead to a problem, where diplomacy ends, such type of debates you can find, and you'll probably find in this year's mains for sure. Where are you going to read from? One of the best sources is MEA websites. Very, very senior diplomats have written articles over there. Very densely packed, beautifully written, cutting edge articles which are easy to read, and you'll find बहुत सारे very senior diplomats, representatives, उनकी speeches हैं. उनकी speeches में invariably वो सारी current चीजें cover करते हैं जो चल रही होती है उस टाइम, और वो सारे terms जो हमको सुनने की जरूरत है. This is how I envision your 90 days. In your 90 days, day 1 to 40, which is not going to be easy, which remember that this is your optimal daily routine. You will notice कि आपके optimal daily routine में answer writing already included है हर रोज. So when I show you the 90-day roadmap, which is next, don't get confused. Know that every day you are doing some answer writing. In advanced stages of the 90-day roadmap, आपकी answer writing बहुत extensive हो जाएगी. So just take a very good look at what this is, what it is expecting you to do, and then tailor it according to you. I know it is not easy to follow any roadmap given by anybody, but I'll just give it as a template. This is an exemplar. I don't think you'll be able to actually follow this to the T, because in my opinion, it is a little bit idealistic, but like I said, it's a templar, it's a template, it's an exemplar. So that is how I would structure the ideal day. Although I doubt it. I doubt if even I could have followed this. I would have gone more with the flow, and अगर किसी चीज में ज़्यादा interest आ रहा है तो I would have gone a little bit deeper, consumed information out of curiosity, because mains is like that. और थोड़ा सा guardrails रख के you have to go a little bit broad in your reading. Editorials, interesting articles पढ़ के उनको बार बार consumption करके perspective मिलता है इस type का जो मांगते हैं UPSC mains में, particularly in subjects like international relations, GS2 में, science and tech में, everything that is more dynamic requires that type of a reading. So we come to your 90-day roadmap. This is how I envision it. The day 1 to 40, you're doing intensive GS reading, like I said. इस एग्जाम की, मेंस एग्जाम की जो आंसर राइटिंग की डिमांड्स हैं, लेट देम नॉट ओवर पावर यू इनटू थिंकिंग दैट द कंटेंट इज नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट. अलग कंटेंट की प्रिपरेशन चाहिए होगी इसमें. डे 1 to 40, I would recommend suggesting prioritizing GS reading. Answer writing will go along simultaneously. आपके कुछ answer writing है already, like I had mentioned, in your optimal daily routine every day, but the priority day 1 to 40 should be intensive GS reading to consume all this information. After that, you can move to ethics and essay, although I don't think this is enough time. Ethics के लिए थोड़ा सा और time चाहिए, but like I said, this is an exemplar, and if you can follow it, it will be very useful. 56 to 70 optional subject, 71 to 80 comprehensive GS answer writing, 81 to 85 essay and ethics mock test, 86 to 90 rapid revision of high yield topics and optional revision. So what are your weekly goals? You had a glimpse of your 90-day roadmap of your optimal daily routine, which by the way will all be included and inserted in that one-page PDF that I will give to you, which you can download from the description. But your weekly goals, what are your weekly goals looking like? We are trying to write 15 answers a week. We are averaging roughly 2 answers per day, which I showed you in your optimal daily routine is scheduled. And if you are writing more than that, great, but I don't think it's quite possible, because writing 2 answers at the beginning will take at least an hour. For ethics, our target is 4 to 6 case studies a week. Good target to have. The more you do, the better you'll get, and the faster you'll be able to write them, because ethics के साथ बहुत बड़ा challenge ये है कि year after year the paper is too long. People aren't able to complete it, and so many of my students leave it, which is very heartbreaking, frankly, because if they could complete it, they would get a good 20-30 solid chunk of marks which they are letting go of. But that is the case, and 60 marks worth of question paper people have left, and as a result they have not received the rank which they could have. Anyway, 4 to 6 case studies a week is a good idea. For optionals, you should be writing 3 to 5 detailed answers a week. So this is a lot of writing practice, and you will have to spend a lot of time disciplining yourself to sit and write. This will require a lot of willpower, and there is no way other than to join some sort of a program or a series to make you do it. This is some harsh and weird type of recommendation. It's not typical recommendation, I know, but it is true, so I'll say it. And the fact is, इस लेवल का डिसिप्लिन बहुत कम होता है किसी में भी. किसी ऐसे स्ट्रक्चर में खुद को बांध लेना चाहिए जो मजबूर कर दे करने के लिए, क्योंकि अपने विल पावर पे इतने लंबे टाइम तक इस टाइप का आउटपुट देना बहुत ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट है. You would need to be extremely disciplined to be able to do it. That is why things like test series come to our rescue. That is the main thing in my opinion. Test series लिख के कुछ ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता है सिवाय इसके कि स्ट्रक्चर में बांध देती है वो. That is the whole point in my opinion of coaching also. Final words before we depart and end this. One, consistent adherence to daily targets. You will need, like I said, bind yourself in some structure. It will help. Prioritize previous year questions. I will keep putting out videos and I will keep on telling you about the themes and the hacks I find and I have found. And I'll also be taking help from students of mine who have cleared the exam over the past 2 years. And we will be forming a group and we will also be launching a very thorough but very revolutionary and different type of a program for mains, the information for which will be forthcoming shortly. I hope this was useful. Thank you very much. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Do take it seriously. And if you are like me, you will enjoy this because this is dynamic. It's not static. It is not boring. अगर आप जब आप इसमें घुसोगे जब आप लिखना स्टार्ट करोगे पढ़ना स्टार्ट करोगे तो मजा आएगा and you will learn a lot and it will be very interesting. I guarantee. Thank you and all the best.